following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? We have Jilly Anais in the building. I'm telling you, actress, recording artist, and she has a beautiful cookbook. Hey lady, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I couldn't sleep.
Really? I could. I was excited. My nerves had me, a little up, but I was excited.
Exactly. I'm so excited about everything you're doing. I learned a lot. I know what's going on. How did you get started?
Whew, how did I get started? That goes way, way back. To be honest, I got started when I was probably 2-3 years old when my parents first put me in dance.
Yeah.
So that's really when it started. The stage became my second home at an early age, and I just fell in love with it. I was in dance, I was in cheer, I was in competitive dance and competitive cheer, and growing up I did so many sports, so all of that's the stage. Absolutely. Everything. So literally the stage just became my second home at an early age.
Absolutely. I found out a lot of things in looking at everything you've done, but sports, track,
oh yeah, and I was
soccer,
a beast.
Basketball,
a beast.
Competitive cheer,
a beast again.
Competitive dance,
yes,
volleyball,
absolutely,
karate. Don't play with you.
Don't play. Do not.
But all of that and still beautiful. How
Thank
does
you.
all that work? How did, as far as just the competition, sports and things like that?
My parents, I just thank them. I really thank them for really putting me in every activity. I don't ever remember a weekend where I was just sitting at home watching movies and doing nothing. Every single weekend was a soccer game or a volleyball tournament or a track relay race or something. It was always something. When I came home, even on the weekdays, it was school, practice, and then homework, and then going to sleep, and then repeat it all over again. So it was never just a dull moment. It was never just sitting down doing nothing. So at an early age, again, like I said, I was always on the go because of my parents. So it just became second nature. And now I can't even just sit still. I have to be on the go.
Right. And now COVID, you know?
Right. Definitely. That is trying to make people sit still. But COVID to my advantage, I've worked around it. I've done things that I never thought I would be doing at such a young age. So, COVID for me was a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. And just looking back, I found out several things. Miss Teen Houston in 2011.
Absolutely. And I still wear that crown proudly.
And in doing so, just taking your parents, just helping you through that, just going with competition.
Absolutely. No, honestly, it's so crazy too, because even when I was in the pageant world, that was my first ever pageant.
Right.
First time ever competing. I wasn't a pageant girl, but I was a competitive girl. I was in competitive dance. So my competitive dance teacher actually was the one who persuaded me into doing the pageant. And my first one ever, I became Miss Teen Houston. And then that kind of was a leeway into a lot of different things. In that world, I met so many people, some people who I still know to this day. So that was a different world as well that really, showcased another love for my love for the stage.
Born in Houston, but left to go to Los Angeles. How did that go?
So in 2014, I graduated high school. I actually graduated high school in 2013. I graduated early.
Yes.
But I walked with my class in 2014. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you, just throughout high school, I was like, what is my next step?
Yeah.
What is it going to be? And I actually went to LA, I want to say my freshman and my sophomore year of high school, just to go visit colleges. I went to visit UCLA, Loyola Marymount University, USC. Those were just three to name a few. And as I visited them, it was so amazing. It was credible, but it was just like something didn't feel right.
Right.
Something didn't feel like this is my future. Something didn't feel like this is my next step in my journey. I'm not saying anyone else's journey, in my journey.
Right.
And, as it came time, I graduated high school my junior year. So I had about 7-8 more months than the average person, to really dibble and dabble. So from January until I walked in, I think, June of 2014, I was in LA. I would be going back and forth between LA and Houston, doing music in recording studios, just really getting my career off the ground. And then when it was time to go to college, I spoke with my parents. I was just like, this is my dream, this is my aspiration. And to the grace of God, I have currently the most supportive parents. And both of my parents went to college. So it wasn't like I'm sitting here talking to two people who didn't go to college. This is against the grain.
Right.
So both of them went to college and they just understood me. And the best thing ever that I'll never forget is my dad told me, your youth won't always be there. College will.
Yeah.
And, now looking back, it was the best decision I ever made.
Right.
But it was a leap of faith. It was a leap in, my parents trusting their 18-year-old daughter, to really go out there and make things happen. And by the grace of God, it worked.
I'm glad you spoke on that because a lot of parents are facing that right now,
right?
Especially during COVID and things like that. And
Absolutely.
A lot of their children are coming and saying, you know what, because I'm looking at COVID, things are happening quickly. We have to decide what we want to do. And mom and dad, I really just don't want to go to college right now. I want to follow my dream. What would you say?
I think the first thing is have a game plan.
Yes.
You can't just wake up and be like, oh, I want to do this because someone else did it. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, just because something worked for me or for you doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else because everybody has a different path. Everyone has a different plan. So, the first thing is have a game plan and then have a game plan for that game plan and then have a game plan for that game plan for that game plan,
Absolutely.
So that's my biggest thing because I think for me, even once I have a game plan and I reach that destination, I have a game plan for the next one. And, I think my biggest thing as well is whenever people ask me, like, what's your overall dream? It's like, if I give you an answer to that, that means I put a limited cap on my dreams and what I'm thinking. My goal right now is to get to where I want to be. But then once I get there, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
That's not my overall thing. I don't think I'll ever stop. I don't think I want to be complacent. I think for me, the fun is grinding. The fun is seeing what's next. The fun is what else can I do, So I think just have a game plan, have a strategy, have a backup plan in a sense of, my biggest thing is not having a backup plan where plan A will go wrong, because my mom always told me this. If you have plan B and you're focused on plan B, all your eggs are not in plan A, so plan A won't work. So I only had plan A. Plan B was not even a topic. But what I'm saying is in a sense of understanding that things don't always go as planned. So have a plan for the things that aren't going to go as planned.
Absolutely. I love that because a lot of people that are young at this point, they look at TV. Right. They look at movies. And they look at, all of the videos and music and things like that. And they say, I want to be like that person. Right. But they don't see the behind the scenes. No. They don't see the actual work.
Absolutely. They don't see the crying nights. They don't see the late nights. They don't see the sleepless nights. Right. They don't see any of that.
Yeah. Like staying up in the studio all through the night trying to get...
I tell you, the sleepless nights, I'm still trying to probably catch up on sleep from them nights. I'm telling you.
Right. Because and they don't understand the repetitiveness of singing that same song until it gets to a point. It's right.
Absolutely. And I love how you just said that because that brings me on one of the biggest quotes that I still live by that my mom said. If you do something every single day towards your goals, it's almost inevitable that they won't happen because, you can say you have this goal, you could say you have this dream, but then you could also just sit there and be like, okay, I'm waiting for this dream to come. How is it going to come? Right. But if you're doing something every single day, Sunday through Sunday, every single day, even if it's just one thing, you wake up and check your emails and you respond to this one person who you thought you would push it off until tomorrow. Right. You're doing something every day to work towards your goals. And I believe that. I think that was such a huge impact because, it would be a random Sunday where I would be like, I'm going to chill out today. And I would think, my mom said, something every single day. So even if it was just an email, even if it was just make this one call that I'm pushing off until tomorrow, I would do it. And paid off.
Paid off.
Paid off.
But it makes sense because a lot of people, they dream or they say, I have this dream, but there's not any work behind it.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
And once the work gets hard, we stop.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or our friends tell us.
And people aren't in love with the work. They're not in love with the work.
That's it.
And you have to be in love with the work.
You do.
You have to be in love with the grind. You do. That's the biggest thing.
Because once it gets tough, it's going to get tougher. And it's going to get tougher.
Oh, yeah.
It gets tougher.
Oh, it doesn't get easy. The thing is, in maintaining your dreams, maintaining your grind, maintaining your career, it's like actually getting to it is really the easy part.
Right.
It's the easy part.
Yeah.
The maintenance, the leveling up, that's where it gets hard because you have to work harder. Once you get to where you want to be, I mean, think about it. You have to work 10 times harder to keep it and to grow.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. The other hard part too, I always look at is that not everybody's going to go on the journey.
No.
That's the hard part.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You've lost people along the way, I'm sure.
For sure. My circle is a dot. It's a dot, literally. I can probably count everybody on this hand, literally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the hard part.
Yes. It is. I mean, we're all human.
We are.
And I think in today's society, you see a following.
Yes.
You see like the cameras, you see,
Yes.
everything. But what people fail to realize is that you see what I post.
Yes.
You see what is posted.
Yes.
You don't know, what goes on behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
No one does. And I think that's a hard part for people to understand. They think, oh, like you have it made. And it's like,
Yes. Yes.
says
Yes.
who? Like,
Yes.
why do you think that?
Yes.
Why is that? Why do people think that? But I mean, hey, my mom always told me too, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And
That's it.
If it was easy, and that goes with every aspect. If it was easy as far as, having a small circle, everyone would do it. And that, because it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. I call the same 5-6 people every single day. I kid you not. But I mean, I've also grown to fall in love with that.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you that I have anybody around me that I don't trust.
Yeah.
Everyone around me has the codes to my safe. I love them,
Right.
And I think that's important too. I think that's really important that, the more success you do have, sometimes that circle gets smaller, but you have to fall in love with every aspect of it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what I'm doing.
I love that. I learned a lot about you.
Tell me what you learned.
First of all, I love Gammy.
Yes.
My
heart.
Oh, yeah,
My
Gammy.
heart.
Yeah.
That is my heart and soul.
Yes, your grandmother and your mom, Miss Teresa.
Come on now. That's momager.
Exactly. Jules Sr.
Yes, my daddy. Yeah, my dad.
He's like, now I love what he said though, and we talked
Which
about
part?
that.
Oh.
He's the head of everything,
yeah,
right?
He runs the house.
He runs the house.
He runs that dishwasher. He runs that vacuum cleaner.
Exactly.
The dry cleaner. He runs all that.
And Jules, your brother.
Yes.
He said, don't call him Junior now.
No,
he's Jules.
he is not a junior. He is Jules on his own.
I love that. I love the fact that you all did a show.
Yes.
About the Moors.
Meet the Moors.
Yes, Meet the Moors.
Absolutely.
How did that get started?
It was so funny because that was a quarantine little shindig that we did. We should have kept it going, honestly. It's never too late though.
Yeah.
But we were all at the house, and a friend of mine actually was like, you guys just need to put this on YouTube because y'all's life is a movie. And the crazy thing is, it's like, no, our life is our life. Like,
right.
Everything that you saw on camera, it's literally like that, probably 10 times more because we had to keep it PG for the camera.
Right.
But it's like, no, that's our life. Like, we are crazy. We are all so in love with each other. We're a family. And, I think it was really awesome that the response I got back from it as well, because for me, it's normal. It's normal to have my mom and dad. It's normal for my grandmother.
Right.
It's normal to have my brother. And then it's also normal to have that relationship with them because we are all so close.
Right.
So when I uploaded it to YouTube, I saw how many people soaked in it because they don't have that love of parents. They don't have a sibling who they're close with. A lot of people were like, I have a sibling. I wish I was that close with them. I wish I had grandparents. I wish I had a mom and dad who I even still talk to. And so when I had posted that and I seen that, I was just like, wow, the outpour of love just in the family aspect was really, really, really touching. I was really impressed by that because, like I said, I mean, it's my bubble. I'm used to it. I call my brother. I was just on the phone with my brother on the way here. I talk to my parents every single day, so it's the norm for me. But to realize that it's not the norm for so many people was like, I guess why it was so beautiful to them, why it was so amazing to see that family, that family love. And so that was a really great thing that we might have to pick back up.
Absolutely.
We might have to keep that
The reason
going.
I say that is because I read the comments and I read a lot about it, and so many people were touched. They were so inspired by it. And it was just you all in front of the camera.
Absolutely.
Not just like, it's not a show.
No.
It was you all talking.
Yes.
And it was just so real. It was reality.
No, it was really
like
reality.
the real reality.
And like I said, honestly, really like kind of dumbed down just so we could make sure YouTube didn't like take it down. But no, it's really our reality.
But you touch so many people, especially a lot of young ladies that they have not, even with moms, with the mother-daughter relationships. I saw a lot of women in there saying, I wish I had that with my mom.
Absolutely.
You know?
That was touching to me too.
Yes, definitely. A lot of other things. I understand you love sushi.
My favorite. Don't even get me started. That's like my second love. I love me some jalapeno yellowtail. What else? No, I love me some sushi. Yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite foods.
As I was looking, it's 25 facts about you, and I was looking at those, and one of the ones you hate going to shop in a brick and mortar, but online is your second nature.
No, as crazy as it sounds, because I am a fashion girl.
Yes.
I do not like trying on clothes.
Right.
I do not like sitting there for hours and hours. I'd rather be at home watching movies. I'd rather be at home just chilling. I do not like being in stores. I don't like being around like so many people. I don't. I never have. And it's so funny because whenever I would tell people that, even before I did the 25 facts, people were like, that's impossible. Like, what? I'm just like, no, I'd rather online. If I need to send it back because it didn't fit, that's my loss. But no, I would so much rather online shop.
Absolutely. I saw one of the others about the fact that you would rather be in home than in clubs and out and close to people. A lot of that.
No, that's funny. That's why people were like, oh my God, I'm ready for quarantine to be over. I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm good. It don't make a difference to me.
Exactly. The other things that I did see is that, man, you love to work out.
I do. I really do. I think fitness is a way of life. It makes me happy. It makes me feel good. And I think, I know, feel good, you look good, you do good. So I think it all is a playing tangent on each other. You feel good, you look good, and then if you look good, you do good. And I just feel like that's kind of how working out, is a big role in my life. I feel like that's the way it makes me feel. And, I like to look good. Like, who wouldn't,
Absolutely.
I love looking good. And I feel like my look is a huge part of my brand. Definitely. So, why would I just slack off on it, But working out has always, I think it also, too, it was second nature because, like I told you, I've been in dance since I was 2 years old. So it's kind of hard for my body to get off. So even, like, even if I'm on vacation for a little bit and I'm, like, slacking off on workout, all I got to do is get back in for 2-3 days and I'm good.
Wow.
I'm good.
And that's good because you've been in sports and stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've had a lot of women to ask the question, and I get questions coming in many times when I have other, guests to come in. And they wanted to know because they see you everywhere, print ads, commercials, things like that. Right. And they always want to know how can they do it where they're at?
Working out?
No, just getting to print ads or modeling or anything, because many of them, 40 million people are unemployed.
Right.
As we know now. And many people have a dream.
Right.
And in that dream, they just are in fear of jumping. They have that fear of jump. Whatever that is.
I think the biggest thing, too, is just, like, you can't be afraid of life. I mean, I don't want to get, like, too deep, but it's just, like, life is not promised. Like, nothing's promised. So, shoot, I just say screw it. Like,
do what you're going to do.
Do what you're going to do. Because, my thing is, that's why I'm saying, like, I think especially my biggest thing, I can give you a really, really good example, was my parents letting their 18-year-old daughter go to LA. Everybody looked at them like they were crazy. Everyone was like, y'all are awful parents. Like, who lets their 18-year-old daughter pack up, mind you, doesn't know anyone in LA and move to LA. It's not like I had like a engineer or a producer that I'm like, okay, look, this is what's gonna happen. No, I didn't know a single soul. So everyone thought my family was crazy. Everyone was like, what the hell? Yeah. Now everybody's knocking on the door like, we best friends, So it's just like, I think you can't be afraid to think or hear people's criticism. You can't be afraid, because the thing is, people criticize what they're afraid to do. People criticize what they didn't have the courage to do. So, my biggest thing is just block out the naysayers, block out the people who don't have the courage to take that second leap, to take that step, I think that's the biggest thing, is you can't listen to other people. If I were to listen to other people, God knows where I would be right now. Absolutely. But I didn't listen to nobody. Yeah. I didn't listen to anyone. And I think that was my biggest pat on the back, was not listening to anyone. God forbid, of course, my parents. Like, I listened to them. Right. But, I didn't listen to outsiders. I didn't listen. And I think that's the biggest thing that holds other people back, is trying to make other people happy. And you can't. I am focused on my happiness. I'm focused on my family's happiness. I'm focused on my loved ones' happiness. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's all I really have room for. You can't make everyone happy. You just can't.
Absolutely.
People are going to hate. So I think the biggest thing is just focus on you. Don't block out all the commentary, and do what makes you happy. Jump, leap, just cartwheel. Just
exactly.
do it. Just do it.
All right. We'll be right back with Jilly Anais.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Light up your new year with a top-rated luxury SUV from Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 XT4 Luxury Collection for $319 a month, the new 2021 XT5 Luxury Collection for $399 a month, or the new 2021 XT6 Luxury Collection for $459 a month. All for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Amazing things for you.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey family, we are back with Jilly, and we are getting ready to talk to her about her cookbook. How did that get started?
Oh, my cookbook, my prized possession. It got started over quarantine. Not gonna lie to you, it's so crazy. So obviously, my parents, I come from a cooking home, and during quarantine, I was just cooking for my boyfriend all the time, and I was just making up recipes. I would do boudin and stuffed chicken. I would do just all types of stuff, just everything. And it would literally be made up recipes. And he actually was the one who was telling me to start writing these recipes down. And this was back in like March 2020, so at the beginning of all of the quarantine.
And we've got to do a shout out to him. She just jumps in and says, "My boyfriend."
No, but
Deshaun Watson, hey, Texans, Houston Texans quarterback, just my boyfriend. Okay.
No, but that is so funny. No, but he was literally telling me like to write all these recipes down, and I was just like, yeah, okay, like. Yeah, I'm gonna write recipes down. That's not even what I do. And then a couple months passed, and he was like, "Have you been writing these recipes down?" Because I would still just be making up stuff, and he loved everything I cooked. And I was just like, okay. And I thought about it, and I was just like, he might be onto something.
Yes.
Like, why am I not writing these recipes down? And so then I started writing them down. And then before I knew it, I brought them to my mom, and I had enough for a cookbook, at least for like a first edition,
Right.
And so before I knew it, I was like, not only do I want to do a cookbook, but I want to make it still fit Jilly. I want it to be a part of my brand, which is when the fashion and the lookbook essence comes into place.
Yes.
Because I was like, it wouldn't even be right if I just put out a cookbook with recipes. It wouldn't even make sense for, who I am. But that's why every single recipe has a look. Every single recipe has a picture, and that's never been done before. So I also am big on doing things that aren't done. So that's where, a cookbook / lookbook came into play, because not only does it fit who I am, so it makes sense, but I mean, I do love to cook. I cook for my loved ones. I cook for my boyfriend. I cook. So it was just, it made sense. It really, really made sense. And that's how it came into play.
Absolutely. Let's see the video.
I don't even know where to begin. Why I wanted to do a cookbook. Well, cooking is part of my history. It has been in my life before I was born, passed down many, many, many generations of Creole Southern cooking. All I remember from a little girl is just growing up in the kitchen with my mom and grandmother, not knowing what was going on, but not even realizing that I was retaining all the information and the skills of learning how to cook. It was second nature once I got older. I was in the kitchen running around with my mom and my grandmother, just always screaming, "Get out the kitchen, you're gonna get burnt. Get out the kitchen, you're gonna get cut up. Get out the kitchen, you're gonna get hurt." Something, something, something. And just watching them bring so much happiness into the house with their food, watching them bring so much joy into the house with their food, and watching them bring so much peace into our home with their food was something that I knew I had to pick up once I became a grown woman. And so my inspiration is my mom and my grandmother. Those are the two women who inspired me to cook. My dad and my brother are just my daily inspiration. And this is who I do it for. These are family secrets, family recipes that I'm finally opening up to the world. I mean, this is huge. This isn't just a simple recipe and some ingredients that I'm slapping on a paper. This is our happiness. This is our peace. This is our family.
I love that. I love that because it's not, like you said, a cookbook. It's a lookbook too.
Right.
With a fashion.
Absolutely.
And it's never been done.
No.
Wow.
So I'm interested to see, one spot. No, but honestly, that's what it was the best part. I want to stay true to Jilly. I want to stay true to who I am. I want to stay true to who my brand is. And I think in anything I touch, any unexpected adventure I'm going to touch, I'm going to always make sure that my supporters, my fan base is like, it makes sense.
Right. Right. And many of the young ladies have been inspired by it.
Yes, I know.
They want to cook.
It's so crazy because I like I said, I feel like I've said this so many times, but it's like, I will never downplay myself. I will never, feel like I can't do anything, but I didn't expect to sell like this. I just didn't. I was just like, it was so crazy because, not to sound crazy, but I only ordered 150 books like the first time. I was like, that was the bare minimum you could do. I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna just order this real quick. Just, I don't know how many I'm gonna sell. So when the pre-sale came and it really sold out, then I was just like, oh my gosh, I think this might be, something. Then I was like, okay, cool. Let me just order a bare minimum again. Like maybe that was just a little hype. Mm-hmm. Then it sold out again. So then I ordered more and it sells out again. Yes. And it's sold out again. Yes. And so I think I've sold out 5 times officially now.
Exactly.
And not fake. Real selling out. I told my manufacturer company, I was like, y'all need to give me a better deal because I know y'all haven't had this many books printed out. But it's so crazy because it's just like the support, the outpour, the love that I've gotten from this. Yes. It's just, honestly, it was greater than I really imagined. I put so much work into it. I did 2 12-hour shoot days for this entire cookbook. So I shot 24 hours of footage, like literally shot. I didn't even eat those 2 days. Of course, my crew ate and stuff, but I was running around so much to get this lookbook done. I have over 100 photos in this book. Wow. So of literally just the food, of me, everything. Mm-hmm. So it took so much work. So of course, I put my all into it, but I don't know. I didn't think it would do how it's doing. And that's just, it's a blessing. It's awesome. I'm still on a high from it.
Absolutely, because it's never been done.
No.
And just the thought process of coming up with a lookbook cookbook.
Absolutely. And that was the fun part too. I had so much fun with my stylist. Her name is Rooch. Mm-hmm. She is incredible and she just gets me. She gets me. I actually met her through my boyfriend, but like now she's locked in. She is locked in. I love her. She just got it. She came to my house 3 nights before because this happened so quick. It wasn't like I took 6 months to plan this. It happened. So I told her what I wanted to do. So she came to my house. We just sat there and planned everything out, a game plan. And then she came over the next day with about like 50 different looks. And we tried each and every one on and we matched each one to which recipe we were going to do. That way, when we got on set, it wasn't like, okay, which outfit should we do now? No, it was literally all like, let's make this move as beautiful, as smoothly as possible. And so with her, she just saw my vision and she ran with it. And it takes a team.
It does.
I couldn't do it by myself. So like the fact that she knew what I wanted to get out, the fact that I explained how I wanted my cover to look. She brought this dress over. I was like, this is my girl. Like, she just gets it. She got it. Yes.
Right.
And then my food stylist and my cameraman and my behind the scenes, everybody played the hugest role. Because, I mean, when I cook, everyone already on my stories, that's how, too. People would be like, so many people would be like, send me the recipes.
Right.
So it really did, it all like played out into fruition. But my food already looks good and great. But she just added that extra,
Absolutely.
And it just made it top of the line, top tier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Happy birthday, January the 2nd.
Capricorn. January 2nd.
You had a beautiful birthday party.
Know. It was a surprise.
He surprised you, didn't he?
Yes.
Wow. You walk in and you say, wait a minute. I looked at the video. It's beautiful.
You know, it's crazy, too, because nobody can surprise me. No, I know everything. I really do. And not trying to, like, say that weird, but I do. You know how you just, like, know, like, okay, y'all acting weird, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
So your parents couldn't get you for Christmas or anything?
No. And it was so crazy because the thing is, like, no one knew except for him. Not even my best friend. My best friend knew, like, a little bit. She was like, he asked a couple things, like, for help, essence, like, what colors.
Right.
But she didn't even know, like, what was going on. I think we were all, it was a surprise party for everybody. Let's just say that. It was the most beautiful. Oh, I'm just, like, reliving it right now. But no, it was the most beautiful birthday. It was the birthday of my dreams, honestly. It was amazing.
It was so great just looking at the video and just you walking in.
So imagine being there. It was just like, I don't even think the videos did it justice. It was just, and shout out to our event planner because she was just.
Yeah, she had it.
Yeah, she talent. Pure talent.
Pure talent. In looking at everything, going back, we know sports, basketball, and everything. And you just leaving from Houston to Los Angeles, that in itself, you know, because we're a lot slower than Los Angeles. We just going across the way. We're at a slower place. But going there, how did that happen? I mean, go when you went there.
You know,
because you were young, though.
No, absolutely. I was really young. It's so funny because even when I look back on pictures, I'm like, oh my God, I was a baby. But I moved there when I was 18 years old, and it was just, I think the biggest thing is just faith and just every single day waking up and just doing something. Yeah. Something towards my dreams. I mean, it wasn't easy. It wasn't. I would be lying if I said it was. I would also be lying if I said I would do it again. I like where I'm at. This is awesome. This is what I worked to get to. But you know, I think the most amazing part about it was my journey. I could sit here and write a book and, you know, tell you the exact steps I did, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for the next person, you know? And so that's why I'm a big advocate on just, you know, listening to you know, the energy, listening to what works best for you, just listening to just the earth. And I know that sounds a little bit bizarre, but just like, I talk to God a lot. And I feel like no matter what, he answers my prayers, he answers my questions. And I think the biggest thing about all of this, even today, is just realizing that it's always going to be on God's time, not my time. Right. And I think, you know, when I first went to LA, I was a little bit discouraged about, like, you know, why certain things weren't happening. And then I realized, you know, once things start happening, it was never going to happen on my time. And the sooner I got that, maybe the sooner things would start happening, you know? And so I really understood that. And I still understand that to this day. I think the position I'm in right now, only person who could have seen it is God. Yeah. And I mean, I didn't know I would be a published author at 24 years old. Right. I didn't know I would be back in Houston for the time being with my family. I didn't know anything, you know? Right. I mean, when I moved to LA at 18, that was the only thing I saw. Right. And I mean, at the same time, I feel like I'm in the best predicament. I'm a published author. I have so many music out, videos. I mean, just the list goes on, and I'm nowhere near done. Nowhere near.
I love that. I love you saying that because, and the other part about it is that there is the music part, but there's a big part of business. Absolutely. That a lot of people miss, and that's the unfortunate because they don't have, that I've seen, they don't have the managers or the management, the trustworthy part, and that's what's good for you.
And you know, that's the thing too, I think is a really downplayed thing about the industry is like a lot of people don't know the fugazi people you come across. Right. A lot of people don't know the BS managers you come across, and that's just real. Right. That's really real. I mean, because now it's just me and my mama. Like it's just us now. Yeah. But I mean, granted, you had to go through that. I had to learn that. And I think that, those hardships, those scrapes on the knees is what builds you up, is why I'm such a strong woman now. I think everything I've been through plays a part in who I am today. So I don't take any of it for granted. I mean, at the end of the day, even though
those were lessons.
Yes,
those
were lessons.
That's your experience.
I love how you put it. Those were lessons. Those were lessons that I learned. And, at the same time, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Right.
So I was never fooled twice. Never fooled twice.
And I love that about you, and just looking at everything you've done. I love the fact that you said, you know what? Yeah, I did it. Yeah, whatever it is, it happens, but I've learned.
Yes. You have to learn.
I'm just saying you're learning along the way.
Absolutely. Learning along the way. I'm still learning.
We all are.
I'm still learning, and I love it. Yes, we all are.
We
and
will never, until we die, we will learn.
And I think, that's a big misconstrued part about people, too, is they think, you know it all. And it's like, no, no, I don't. I don't even know what I'm doing in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. But I wake up, I'm filled with faith. I'm filled with prayer. I'm filled with just understanding. I'm filled with an open mind. I want to learn. And I think that's the biggest thing too. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to grind. I want to reach for stars that haven't been reached, And so I'm never going to stop learning. I'm never going to turn an ear off to anyone who does want to. I love to listen to. Listen and learn.
And I love the way when you're on Instagram or Facebook, how you are just so free, and how you just, for young ladies, they're able to actually be a part of you.
Absolutely. That's a big thing too, because it's so awesome with the time we're in today. I'm able to connect to so many people so quickly, which is why I did a book giveaway. It was so crazy because, like I was telling you, my book went so crazy that I was just like, people have been giving to me. I want to give back. Right. In a sense that, of course, I give back all the time, you know, through everything, but like something that makes sense, like, wow, my book has been going crazy. So you know what? I want a chance for one lucky person to win this book, which ended up turning into 4 people. Right. Because I got so many people who participated in the contest. I was literally sitting on the couch with my mom like, how can we just choose one? Right. And then we were like, okay, let's just choose 2. And as we were scrolling, we were like, well, this person deserves it too. So then we stuck with 3, and we were like, okay, let's just do one more just so we can end on 4. 4 is a number, you know, go 4 is up, 4 is up. So we were just like, let's just end it on 4. And then that's how we chose 4 winners to receive my book. And it's actually going out in the mail today. So 4 lucky winners got to receive my cookbook just because of the support that I get from them. So that was my way of just saying like, thank you. Because, you know, I wouldn't be Jilly if it wasn't for my support. If it wasn't for my fans, if it wasn't for all the girls who, you know, comment on my pictures, like my pictures, support me in every endeavor that I do. Because a lot of those people are my biggest fans with music. And so now they're buying my cookbook, you know, so it just, it shows you that they support Jilly. They support Jillian. They are, you know, a fan of me and a supporter of me. So that's something that's so real to me that I love. And
I was looking at a lot of the comments, and a lot of the women, even several of them, said that you freed them, because one young lady was saying how she may have been going for suicide or something like that on one of them. And she was just saying how you just, as she looks at you and, you know, listens and things like that, we just never know. You know what I mean?
You don't. You don't, and you don't know how much.
You're just a positive role model.
And I love that. And you know, I like, role model is such a touchy, like a touchy apron to put on, because like, I don't sit here and say I'm someone's role model. Because like, for me, the biggest thing is like their parents, like your parents should be your, you know, your role model. But I mean, if you could look up to me, and if you could feel aspiration through me, if you can feel courage through me, if you can feel belief and if I make you want to be better, then I feel like I'm doing my job in life, and I feel like I am making the next generation better. And you know, I just feel like no matter what, I have 180. Like, my platform was way more free than it was now, you know, I think, but that's part of growth. And I think, you know, I do realize a lot more what I post. I do pay attention to, you know, the things that I put out, because so many eyes are on me now. At first it was like, you know, I've always, I grew a platform super quick, but it was more like just fun for me. And now I realize, I'm like, oh, these people actually like look for me for daily aspiration. These people are like, okay, well, Jillian's doing it. Jilly does it. How can, you know, I do this? How can, like, you know, like you say, you saw those comments about People,
people are just pushing forward.
Yes,
Many
and I see that
people,
too.
Yeah, I do. I see the
I
fact
see that too.
people are pushing forward. They might have been in some, as far as maybe they were working at this job, minimum wage.
Right.
Now you've pushed them to go further.
Absolutely.
Now you've pushed them to go further.
Absolutely.
Meaning that they look at you and they said, wow, Jilly is doing it.
Right.
I want to try to do it.
Right.
I want to try to go forward. You
Right.
know?
I completely agree. And I think that's like so many aspects with like, even when I put my book out, it was just so many people who were just like, wow, I can't believe, you're dabbling into this. And so it's just like I said, so many things that I have so planned that I can't wait for people to see. And I just can't wait to keep inspiring people.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with Jilly.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Light up your new year with a top-rated luxury SUV from Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 XT4 Luxury Collection for $319 a month, the new 2021 XT5 Luxury Collection for $399 a month, or the new 2021 XT6 Luxury Collection for $459 a month. All for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Amazing things for you.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we are back with Jilly. Thank you so much. We have been talking to Jilly about everything that you've been doing. What upcoming projects do we have? What we got going?
If I tell you, but I can let you know that I am working so hard.
Yeah.
I don't want to say my latest project.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're actually getting the exclusive
this
because
is
no one even
exclusive.
knows I have a project coming out. So that's
Yes.
top notch.
Good.
But I'm really excited about this next one. It's not a cookbook.
Yeah.
It's something completely different.
Yeah, that's
but I'm excited because I am officially an entrepreneur. I'm officially a CEO of several companies. I'm officially a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a business.
Yes.
Not just a businesswoman. I'm a business.
Yeah.
So I think, 2021 is looking real bright.
Right. And let's talk about a brand.
Absolutely.
As far as branding, a lot of people don't know about your brand, like a brand.
Yes.
You, the person, are a brand.
Yes.
And many people are, when they go out or they as far as having a business, they don't know many times you, the person, are a business.
Right. No, I'm literally a brand myself. I'm a walking billboard. I am. So, I think that was also a thing that played in hand with a lot of my endeavors that I'm doing. You know, I'm fashion forward, which is why the cookbook made so much sense. My next business adventures, everything just has to make sense.
It does.
And so, I want in every aspect of any business that I dabble in, I want it to make sense. I want to walk, and I'm my walking billboard. I want you to be like, hey, like, where'd you get that? And it's just like my line, you know, like right here.
Right.
I am Jilly.com.
Right.
That's what it is. And
Absolutely.
so, becoming a brand yourself, it's not easy. It's not easy.
And let's talk to young ladies about that. Understanding a brand.
Understanding
being a
brand.
that they are the brand.
Absolutely. No matter what, I feel like you are a brand in general. Everyone is a brand. When you introduce your name, how you say it with confidence, that's the key. If you are confident in yourself, then it just makes somebody else want to be even more confident in you. And and that's the biggest thing with me. I've always been so confident in myself. I could sell you a shoelace. And you like, God, I gotta have that shoelace because the way Jilly just said it.
Right.
Oh my God. So that's how it is with me. I think, the biggest thing with any brand and with anything is just the confidence in yourself. Once you have that confidence in yourself, people piggyback on it.
Right.
It's kind of hard not to, because if you're sitting here telling me all about your show, I'm like, well, the confidence he has in it, I might need to go check it out.
Right.
I might need to go watch a few episodes, because that's just how it is. If you just sit here and tell me, oh, I have a show, oh, I got this cookbook, whatever, it's my name. Why would I be interested in it?
Right.
So the biggest thing about your brand is the confidence. the biggest thing is like you have to be your number one fan. You have to be your number one supporter, your number one PR. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a walking brand. I'm a walking billboard. So if I don't have the confidence in myself, who else will?
Absolutely. I also love the fact about you always instill or empower young ladies and let them know that you are unique.
Absolutely.
Each person is unique.
Absolutely.
Each person has their own. It's gonna be just one Jilly, no matter what.
Right.
And I think with competitiveness, as far as other women jealousy, there's no reason.
Yeah.
Because each person is their own person.
Absolutely.
They have their own gifts. They have their own style. They are, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I love that about you, that you embrace it all.
Oh, I definitely embrace it. And I think, we're in a world today where just women are thriving.
Yes.
Women are the top head honchos. Women are...
Look at tomorrow, Vice President Harris. The Vice President of the United States.
A woman vice president.
Yes.
And, it's just... I don't think any of us thought we would see the day. Any of us. So, what's next? A woman president.
Yes.
I mean, I might run. No, I'm
there
just
you
kidding.
go.
Please don't have no go. But, I mean, it's just, it gives you that thought process. It gives you those thoughts that you probably never had. I mean, we don't know what 10-year-old girl is thinking now. It's possible for her to be the president. And I just think that's so beautiful. I think just the level of how women are just growing and not afraid to... We don't shut up and sit in the back anymore.
Right.
We don't. We are the business owners. We like, what's good? We can tab for tab at this point, and I think that's just so beautiful. I came from a home where my mom was her breadwinner as also. Right. So like, as well as my dad being the breadwinner, she was heads up with it. It's like we playing. And then I think, what's so funny?
And the support he gives.
Yes. And I think the best thing is just always that saying that Jay-Z said. He said, what's better than one millionaire? Two. So I think that's a big thing. I think it's sexy. It is. It's beautiful when a woman has her own. It's awesome. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's so awesome. And I think it's just fun. I mean, I personally can't just sit down and do nothing. Mm-hmm. I cannot. So I think it's just so awesome the state the world is in with so many women bosses these days. And that just goes on to why I named it Boss Babe. Because I'm a boss. And I wanted anyone to read, as you're reading it, This Boss Babe Can Cook, you're talking about yourself. Right. You're a boss babe. I wanted people to feel it as they read it, like, you know what, I'm a boss too. I'm a boss babe. And so that was a big playing tangent on the name of the book as well.
And I love that because now other women know they can be bosses
absolutely.
too. I mean, it's not a genuine agenda.
No, absolutely. Not at all.
It's two. That's what I loved about your family and your dad. And he's like, yeah, she's got it going on. But look, my wife got it going on too.
Yes, literally.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
It wasn't a competition. It wasn't like, well, she's got to be in the back and all that. No, she's on the side of me right here. Right. She's carrying her own.
Absolutely. And behind every great man is a great woman.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Well, my thing is with any relationship, you want the woman to be 100% because if we get sick, we need you to be able to carry it too.
And guess what? I can carry the way I can carry it.
I love that. And doing that and looking at everything that you've seen as far as young women, some things that you would tell them. What would you tell them?
I would just tell every young woman, just happiness is number one. I think no matter what you do in life, just always lead towards happiness. Whatever makes you happy. If it's just sitting there behind a desk that doesn't make you happy, well, then what does? If it's, starting your own brand and whatever essence it is, it could be a book, it could be, a video game, it could be anything, but it's just the number one thing is happiness. Are you happy? I think I would start there. And then on top of that, I would just think whatever you do, have a game plan, be confident, be overly confident, because at the end of the day, no matter what, somebody's gonna hate. Mm-hmm. But if it is not you, then why do you really even care, So I think no matter what, be happy. Have a game plan. Be smart. Be smart about your game plan. Have a game plan for that game plan, and a game plan for that game plan for that game plan. But just overall, your happiness, game plans, and just confidence. Mm-hmm. Confidence is key in every aspect in life, because I could sell you something that's worth 6 cents and I could sell it for $600 because my confidence for it, I promise you, you're going to be like, you know what? Let me just not eat the rest of this week because I want whatever she's selling. Right. So just confidence. Confidence is key.
And what I love, and I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people have some great ideas.
Oh, absolutely. And they sit on it because they're scared of other people. And, you know, like I said, I'm not a person who's saying this and I don't get scared. Because I get scared. I have so much unreleased music. I have so many, you know, ideas that I just want to perfect. And because I'm an advocate on my own self.
Right.
I am nervous about a lot of stuff too. But the thing is, there are things that I'm not nervous about, which is why my cookbook is out, which is why I do have music out. Because those were the leaps of faith. You know, now I'm a perfectionist, so not everything's going to be out until I really give it the key, but you have to start somewhere.
Right.
You can't be afraid of growth. I have definitely looked back on some music videos and I was like, archive, delete. Okay, yeah, that was cute at 16. We are definitely deleting these cover videos. But I think, you know, you can't be afraid of growth. You can't be afraid of negative commentary. You cannot be afraid of haters.
Yes.
You can't. And you know, the biggest thing that I would tell people is, you don't have any haters, you ain't popping. And let me tell you one thing. Once people stop talking about you, that's when you have something to worry about.
Now, that's the key.
That's what you have something to worry about.
That's the key right there.
When they're not talking.
Yeah, when they're not talking.
When they're not talking.
We're so scared and in fear of people talking about us.
Absolutely.
But people like yourself, you just said something beautiful by telling people, if people aren't talking, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You got to have people have to be talking.
Yes.
For you to be somebody.
Absolutely. Literally. Literally.
They're going to talk.
Absolutely.
You know, the higher you go up, they're going to talk.
Oh, and it's going to get even worse. And the funny thing is, I think people forget to cancel that out. They think, oh my God, the more people are talking about me, okay, I need to calm down. But then you forget, wait, I'm way higher. Like I'm this much more successful. And I think a lot of people cancel that out. They think, oh my God, so many more people are talking about me, I'm gonna lay low.
Right.
And it's just like, no, this is the time to go higher. This is the time to really be on it. This is the time, because I mean, at the end of the day, numbers don't lie.
Right.
The reshares, the insights don't lie.
They don't.
You know, it's being shared. All my stuff that I post is being shared. I mean, like you said, numbers don't lie. They
don't
can't.
lie.
They
don't lie. And that's what I love about you doing everything you've done. Everything you have said you're going to do, everything, and you're pushing forward.
Absolutely.
And you are really, for young ladies, they're looking and they're able to be inspired.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're able to be inspired. Let's talk to the viewers.
Come on.
There you go. Leave some last words, and also all of your social media platforms.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk to them.
So it's your girl Jillian. You can find everything on my website at www.iamjilly.com. Again, that's iamjilly.com. My Instagram is Jilly Anais. My Twitter is Jilly Anais. Everything is under Jilly Anais because I am a brand. That's me, Jilly Anais. But no, honestly, just be happy. Continue to strive for greatness each and every day. If you're not doing something every single day towards your goal, then how do you expect to get to your goal? Be courageous, be confident, be overly confident, be overly confident, and just be happy.
Absolutely.
Be happy.
I so appreciate you.
I appreciate
so
you. Thank
much.
you for having me. This was phenomenal. I'm just over the moon. Thank you so much for having me, though.
Absolutely.
I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
So much. On tomorrow, we're going to have Hawthorne James from the 5 Heartbeats. We call him Big Red, 12:30 to 1:30 Central Standard Time. Bye.